27 years. That's 9,855 days. Nearly 10,000 sunrises without freedom. But this is not a story about prison. This is a story about the fire that refused to die. A story of a man who walked through fire and came out glowing. A man who taught the world that forgiveness is more powerful than revenge. His name was Nelson Mandela, but the world would remember him as Madiba, and this is his story. He was born in 1918 in a small South African village called Mvizo. His given name was Ralilala. It means troublemaker. As a child, he ran barefoot through dusty fields, unaware that the world saw his skin as a prison. His father died when he was just 9. He was adopted by the royal Thembu family and exposed to tribal leadership. It was here that Nelson first saw what leadership meant. Not command, but wisdom. Not force, but listening. Young Mandela watched, observed, absorbed, and when he saw injustice, he didn't just feel anger. He felt responsibility. In his late teens, Mandela moved to Johannesburg. There, he saw the brutal reality of apartheid. Black South Africans couldn't vote. They couldn't live where they wanted. They needed passes to move through their own land. It was not just inequality. It was legal humiliation. Mandela enrolled in law school and became the country's first black law firm partner. He didn't become a warrior with weapons. He became a warrior with words. And his battlefield was the courtroom. Mandela joined the African National Congress, ANC. At first, he believed in nonviolence. But the government's brutality only grew. Massacres, beatings, arrests. The Sharpeville massacre in 1960 killed 69 peaceful protesters. That day, Mandela's heart changed. He realized peace alone was not enough. He helped found Umkhonto we Sizwe, the Spear of the Nation, a militant wing. Their goal: sabotage, not murder. Disrupt the system. Shake the silence. In 1962, the government finally caught him. The courtroom was filled with cameras. And Mandela stood like a lion. Mandela stood before the judge and said, "I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." The room went silent. The sentence: life in prison. But in that moment, Mandela became more than a man. He became a symbol. Mandela spent the next 18 years on Robben Island. His cell, 8 feet by 7. His bed, a mat on the floor. He broke rocks by day and read philosophy by night. The guards tried to break him. They took his rights, his letters, his dignity. But Mandela chose his response. He smiled. He studied. He forgave. In prison, he didn't grow bitter. He grew bigger. He even learned the language of his oppressors, Afrikaans, so he could understand their minds. Outside, the world started to listen. Students chanted his name. Songs were written in his honor. Free Nelson Mandela became a global anthem. The apartheid government, cornered by international pressure, began secret talks. And then, after 27 years, on February 11, 1990, Nelson Mandela walked out of Victor Verster prison. Tall, calm, smiling.
No bitterness. No revenge.
Just purpose. In 1994, South Africa held its first free democratic elections. For the first time, black South Africans voted. The winner, the prisoner. Nelson Mandela became president of the very country that once caged him. But what he did next shocked everyone. He invited his former jailers to the presidential palace. He wore the jersey of the national rugby team, once a symbol of white power, to unite the country. He created the Truth and Reconciliation Commission not to punish but to heal. He did not rule with wrath. He ruled with grace. He showed the world that real power is mercy. Mandela served one term, then he stepped down. No dictatorship, no clinging to power. He went back to being a citizen. He said, "Resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemies." And so he drank forgiveness. He became a global ambassador for peace, for education, for compassion. In 2013, Mandela passed away, but his soul didn't. It lives on in every protester who marches for justice, in every prisoner who refuses to hate, in every heart that chooses to love when revenge would be easier. Because Nelson Mandela didn't just walk through fire. He became the light for those still trapped in darkness. "I am not a saint," he once said, "unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying." So ask yourself, what are you trying for? What prison are you breaking out of? Because Mandela's story is not over. It begins with you.